Welcome to a moment of intriguing introspection beyond the realms of fear, hesitancy, and doubt. A deep dive into the questions of the ages shared with the courage that may challenge perception, yet teases open the expansive depth of conscious awareness. This is a rare and unique moment in our collective history. And beyond all sense of dogma, I am Master Lady Kira Ra, promising to call forward the essence of all that you are. Join me as I offer the latest self-ascension revelations with supportive wisdom. And why not remember that peace, love, and joy are your birthright? So this is the moment to bring your hand to your heart and to give yourself the gift of relaxing into a deep breath with a wondrous exhale. I look forward to joining you right now in another episode of Expanding Consciousness. Well, namaste, everyone, and welcome to Expanding Consciousness. I am Master Lady Kira Ra, and today I want to welcome you to what I like to call my secret garden. And this is my little teeny space on this huge mountainside. This is my little teeny private space, and hopefully right up here while I'm talking to you today, you're going to see the giant hummingbirds come in, and you're hearing Horace and Henry. You're hearing my dogs, and I apologize for that. I'm going to do my best to keep them quiet. And you're also seeing the Compadres Mountains. There's Henry. Say hi, Henry. Say hi. There we are. And right there is the beautiful Compadres Mountains. And today, I'm so excited because in this library of consciousness, in this library of all that is coming together for you right now, today it's about the children. And it's about what we are not only receiving from the children, but it's the eyes of a child. It's seeing through the eyes of the child. It's the recognition of the child within. And I want you to really take in a breath as I say that. And let's just bring our hands to our heart, because whether this is your first time here, whether this is your millionth time here, it matters not. You are here right now, as am I, with you. And in this moment, I invite you to just gift me these few minutes for you to really relax and receive, to not only remember, but to see the propulsion at work. Because the reason that it feels so important to enter this through the eyes of a child moment into this encyclopedia of consciousness, the reason it's so important is for you. It is for us all. It is in that remembrance that as our consciousness expands, as we say yes, as we smile through the transcendent moments in full cognizant awareness of everything that's happening in the field of density, while simultaneously carrying those eyes of a child. That's what illuminates the smile. And this is a discernment that is so beautifully woven through the experience of this body, of this informed awareness, that it is so pervasive and so strong that it is through the eyes of a child that we will often find our greatest reflections and our greatest need for healing. When we gaze into a mirror, and I pray you are gazing into a mirror, whether it is the mirror of you and I right now, whether it is the mirror of your eyes into the mirror of your soul, right there in front of you, your own espejo, right there, your own mirror. That as we are here, as we are together in this experience of mirrored awareness, can you gaze into the eyes of the child with a smile of remembrance and that incredible moment of discernment? So that's a lot to unpack there, isn't there, right now? All right, so let's do that. So as we are breathing and as we are gazing at all of that, Let's begin with the literal eyes of the child. And one of the things I want to invite you to do right now is to remember or notice, go out and set up a situation where you'll be able to do that. But remember something the first time you ever tasted it. Remember whatever it is, your favorite food right now, whatever it is that just makes you go, oh my gosh, must have. I don't care if I'm hungry or not. That has nothing to do with it. I just have to have that. What is that? And then remember the first time you ever had it. And if you can't quite get to the first time you ever had it, then go ahead and go into just the essence of the enjoyment of it. Those are eyes of a child. The first time you try anything. I remember when I moved here to Ecuador, Sri and I happened to be one of those people that really enjoyed V8 juice. And when we moved down here, I will never forget they had this juice that they were calling tomate. And so, but it had a different color. It was kind of like a orangey color. And I'll never forget, I said, what is this great juice? They keep saying tomate. And I'm thinking, oh, it must be like a V8. No, it was a whole new fruit. And I remember the first time I had it. And that's why I'm sharing this story with you, is that when did you first have a new fruit most recently, or a new vegetable, or a new food, or anything? It's that, oh my God, what is that? It's that moment of that gone outside of all of the filters that would stop you to judge or do anything else. It's that, just that moment of that, because in that exact experience, often felt the first time you taste a new flavor that you enjoy, that's a moment where you can capture the eyes of the child. And people physically do it, don't they? You watch people, they sink back, right? It's just like that, that complete exhale, that complete beingness, that oneness, the eyes of the child. Take a moment right now, if you haven't already, and notice what I'm noticing as I'm sharing with you is I'm noticing my third chakra, and I'm noticing that it's really important to be breathing. Because when we breathe, children traditionally have high activity. And so their respiration is very frequent. It's very different. And just as those who are working with them, any parent or caregiver will share with you, I think everyone gets to use their bellows. I know I sure did. And so in the eyes of the child, everything's a game. Everything's funny. Because in the eyes of that child, in the eyes of the game, in that moment, and this is where I want to start comparing between the eyes of a true child and the eyes of a discerning child, meaning the wise adult. But in the eyes of the true child, everything's a game because they're trying to learn what their boundaries are. They're trying to learn, okay, who am I? Where am I? And in the eyes of a child, it's all a game until it's not. And that can be a very disturbing moment because it disturbs the energy of this is just a game with the energy of let me teach you what a game is and what a game is not. Let me help you learn a way to channel that energy so that you can flourish rather than have a life where you're constantly going to have push and pull. And so this is why in that eye of a child, of a true child, a young child, right? They're always going to be coming in with this push energy. And it's not about pushing back. It's about showing how to take that energy and lift it up so that the eyes of the child see beyond Einstein. If we're meeting that eyes of the child with the eyes of the adult acting like that same child, there's no growth. All there is an energy that sustains and will never make room. It's so busy dancing that it forgets to look up. And then it becomes enthralled with the dance and it traps itself. And those are the eyes of the immature child, unaware of itself and constantly battling and pushing and pulling, because within this energy field, the totality and the acceptance, the self-love, the awareness, it can't exist because it's constantly in this energy of the push-pull, of the one must give way to the other without any sense of who is who. The eyes of the child are always in the energy of the game, of the joy of being the child, of the innocence of being the child. And that is the energy that's seeking, guide me. That's, I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. And here comes that energy. And is that energy ready to guide, or is that energy meeting it head on? And this is important, because when your eyes of the child open, just as our multidimensional consciousness ignites, just as we are right now in the moment of this cosmic Human expansion, when the eyes of the child meet consciousness itself, what are they discovering? And so let me back up on that one. Let's unpack that a little bit. Through the eyes of the child, the world is a game. And through the eyes of the child, everything is easy. I want that, I get it. I want that, I get it. I want that, I get it. Or I want that, I don't get it. I want that, I do get it. I want that, nope, not yet. There is this expansion of the eye through the discernments that all of us learn through the existence of our own being and form. Our childlike eyes shift. And it is a challenge, right? There's times when it's really a challenge, because there are times when often people just say, I give up, or you know, blah, 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 this is all a lie, where people go all the way to the other side. And it's really just like a pendulum, isn't it? Right? So it's not uncommon, and there's nothing wrong with having gone from the eyes of the child to the eyes of the most staunch cynic. Because I know inside the eyes of a staunch cynic is a child saying, please prove me wrong so I can feel good again. Every cynic wants to feel good again. It's just their protective armor because they've been hurt. But deep within that cynicism is usually the greatest jewel. And so imagine when that jewel, when everything swings back into balance, when going from the innocent eyes of the child I'm going to say pre the experiences that create the discernment, right? So from the eyes of that innocent child, all the way over to another side of the same life experience in a body of form, eyes of child, cynic. How do you bring that back together in harmony? How do you find the best of all? How do you find that seat of balance? Consciousness. Now, I bet you knew I was going to go there, right? So really take a moment and let me bring you through all the dots. Let me connect all the dots that we've been going through so far in our journey through expanding consciousness today, as we gaze at the eyes and through the eyes of the child. We are born into this world. Through the sacred sequence of incarnation, we choose this type of a body. We choose this amazing experience on this planet in this specific potentiality right now. And as we do that, as we come into this body, we begin to see the world around us through the 5 medicines, because the reason you have a body of form is because the essence of your eternal nature, through its continual expansion through a field of love, chooses to take this specific form to expand that even more. And from the form, the first fall is into the emotions. And from the emotions, we go to the mental. And from the mental, we go back up to the spiritual. And then we hope to get that trampoline to bring us back up to the physical for reunification. So as we're navigating all of that in the eyes of the child, you come into a physical body and you immediately have needs. I am wet. I am hungry. I am tired. I am crying. And those needs are immediately met by a response. And these eyes are immediately learning and conditioning and seeing and hearing and witnessing. And those eyes are going through all of those things. Those eyes, that eyes of that child from that moment of physical incarnation goes into that needs, thereby calling forward the emotions, thereby calling forward that evolving brain that's already carrying eternal wisdom, trying to bring it down into this brain. So it's really working hard on brain. So it's saying, okay, if I do this, I get this. That's how the brain begins. And then it also remembers love, and that brings it, and that holds that spiritual corridor open, which is why with that much love, it is showered back up to the physical, and why many children are held in the totality of their conscious awareness, especially with conscious parents, because all the wheels have to be turning. And I'm going to be teaching this. I'm going to be showing you how you can spin the wheels of the 5 medicines to consciously call forward sacred partnership, sacred family, sacred union, all of the unified fields. It's just about spinning all of these fields together. And that's what the eyes of the child is doing. And when you are engaging with a physical child, notice how you feel. Notice what you're noticing. Notice notice the questions that come up. Notice suddenly what's in front of you. You might not think it has anything to do with that child, but what it is the energy emission of those eyes that are seeing, the eyes that are broad. That's why there's a rise in so much of the autistic things. And I don't want to say things, but all of the spectrum of that, because many of these children are spinning all of their medicines. And so there is this essence of a totality within that is getting its needs met. And those are eyes of a child. And so imagine that as this child, as you have been spinning through this, as you have been evolving, these eyes of the child shift. And for some, we go from that wide open state way over here to the staunchest cynic. But we can bring that pendulum back. And what brings it back is the smile. It's the smile of the awareness that stands up beyond the fields of judgment, beginning with the self, in the freedom to be the self, and in the experience of the innocence of the child with the discernment of the journey. And I want you to really breathe that in. The innocence of the child with the discernment of the journey. Your life is a journey. We begin ascending from the minute we are born. From the second you are born, you are ascending into the human that you are now. And then we have all of our little mini ascension paths along the way. The eyes of our child are constantly excited. How about that first time you drove a car, or getting that first driver's license, or graduating school, or whatever that beautiful moment was, whatever it is for you. I remember those moments. I remember many of them, every one of them. Those are the moments where the eyes of the child are open to the future. The eyes of the child are back because they bring you joy. They bring you happiness. They bring you an inner resolution. That's when the eyes of the child become the inspiration through the wisdom and the discernment of the adult. That's what puts it all back into balance, is to remember to yourself through relaxing the field of all judgment, no shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? And just inviting that essence into you right now. Be there in my secret garden in the Andes Mountains, where the air smells like pine and eucalyptus. Breathe that in. It's beautiful. Where my noise pollution is birds and the river and the leaves. Yeah. in this moment, why not try on the innocence of a child seeing this beautiful orange flower for the first time? Or remembering your greatest childhood dream by inviting yourself to know, yeah, I am the innocence of the child. My eyes are open. I am here to see. And I am here to be. To carry that dream energy. Because remember that anything you have ever dreamed, anything you have ever imagined, anything that you ever saw yourself where it was really positive and uplifting and left you feeling really amazing, any inspiration like that, now hold on, breathe it in, you have already achieved and know how to do, because you are in a potentiality that is right next to it. And that's why it's so remarkable that in that moment, in this experience, right now, think about it. Where is it? What was it? What was that dream? What were you going to do? Well, here's what I challenge you to know. You are not too old. You are not too sick. You are not too young. You are not too stupid. You are not too whatever it was that tried to tell you you couldn't. I want you to peel out, bring on the innocence of the child with the discernment and the wisdom of you, the incredible adult. And then I want you to know that it's yours right now. Because this is why we're here today, in the open eyes of the child, in the energy that was birthing in this specific potentiality on October 15th, 2024, in the world as this was counting linear time. This experience, as we are moving into a full moon that will carry with it the ignition of the most beautiful lotus ever, igniting a 5-day countdown into eternal life presence, which on the 22nd, there will be an alignment, unlike any alignment that has been, that will create an explosion that is propelling us toward the spirit amplification portal on the 31st of October. I'm putting all those dates in here. Now, if you don't know what I meant, make sure you're over at my YouTube channel, YouTube official Shri and Kira, and go watch all of the prediction shows. They're all there. Because right now in this moment, your open eyes, the smile of the child, the remembrance, the saying yes, the availability to be you. The universe is saying, look, you've worked really hard. All of you collectively, because every single being is doing their right. Everyone's playing their role perfectly. Everyone. And so in this moment, as you are here, as you are connecting, as you found this broadcast, in whatever form and in whatever field and in whatever year or potentiality, just know that I bow before you. You made it this far. There's a reason. I invite you to remember that through sincerely practicing the yoga of self-ascension, through sincerely diving in and learning about the 5 medicines, you are ready to navigate an experience of potentiality without having to sacrifice the eyes of the child. If you find yourself getting fed up with humanity, if you find yourself frustrated, if you find yourself giving up, if you find yourself with the what's the use, what the F attitude, number 1, get your butt right down here and please, let's hang out together. Let's spend some time. Get to tosabluemountain.com and just get down here. This new year is unlike any new year there has ever been. And I am being honored to be able to shepherd those that wish to come through an incredibly rapid Yoga of Self-Ascension masterclass. And it's happening over the new year. Right now, shriandkira.com. Check out the New Year program. I'll make sure there's links here as well. I invite you also to just keep tuning into this show. Be here every week. Go back, listen to past episodes. Begin to notice the common thread that is inviting you to remember. You are the master. You are not the victim. You are absolutely here on this planet right now, by choice, most likely you kicked somebody out of line to be here ahead of them. And in this moment right now, if you are here, it is because deep within you, there has always been a yearning, a compulsion, a knowing, something that has just pushed you forward, something has had you looking. You can't quite put your finger on it, but then you do. And then you're here. And so what I want to share with you through the eyes of my open child is welcome home, because I know you and I have danced with you many times before. Your energy field right now is calling you into a moment of remembrance. You are not crazy. You are not alone. Yes, you're shifting. We all are. Our entire planet is shifting. That's why I was called back here to champion this divine feminine. It's one of the only female temples of light on the planet. And so, we're all being called to do things we are being asked to do. You right now, you are here on this planet in this body of form to remember who you are while you're still carrying it. That's the yoga of self-ascension. To be in the full embodiment of your eternal divine mastery presence, thereby absolutely expanding your brain's capacity, absolutely assisting you to command the body of form, to sustain it for that which is yours to accomplish, and for giving you the eyes of the child that can look at you and say and know that the law of instantaneous manifestation is yours to command at any time. But it does take some adaptation. It does take the commitment and sincerity, love, and presence will in all ways equal miracles every time. It's a great formula. But when we walk the path of yoga of self-ascension with the eyes of the child wide open, and when we can do that with steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust, then in that moment, I am as you are, manifesting and holding your highest in all ways, knowing that as the divine mirror of being able to gaze into the eyes of the child, you are holding that for me as well. I am as you are. And in the eyes of the child, it is always joy, having been shepherded through the wise one to take that joy and rather than push it back or meet it at the same space, assist it to look up, assist it to expand, assist it to be divine, assist all to be sacred. You are sacred. Your body is a temple. Your life is a gift, and it is yours to command. And I do ask all of you for your prayers when I will be traveling at the behest of the beautiful ones of the universe. I have been asked to travel during a very powerful time on the planet. From October 21 through November 5, I will be going from South America all the way up to Canada, carrying a bridge of peace with me and holding that frequency in a very remote part of Canada, where I will be broadcasting to you live for the portal amplification on the 31st of October. Look for that coming soon. I'll make sure that you get more information as we get closer. And in this moment, just know that the smile of your open, wide child eyes comes through, your smile comes through the radiance of the discernment and wisdom of your journey. You've earned every step of it. Now it's time to pay it forward. I love you. And until I have the gift of being with you again, have a great week. Get to ShriAnkara.com and TosaBlueMountain.com. Make sure you support AMFM247.com. And my loves, all is truly, truly well. And so it is. Namaste. Thank you for joining me on Expanding Consciousness. Learn more about the Yoga of Self-Ascension at ShriAndKira.com, and make sure you're subscribed to YouTube official Shri and Kira. Remember, you are the gift. I love you and look forward to being with you again. Namaste.